A little 1989 wax tonight. 1989.
I said you'll have fun, and I won't disappoint you.
Welcome, fellow Kiss fans. Welcome to It's All For You Demons, celebrating the fun of being a Kiss fan tonight. As a 8-year-old in 1978 would say, the solo albums or Phantom of the Park is my era of Kiss. Tonight we are talking about my personal era of Kiss. I became a fan in 1988. Hot in the Shade was my very first new release as a Kiss fan, and Hot in the Shade is in my DNA. So tonight it's going to be a lot of nostalgia, and we're going to look at the new bundle 35th anniversary that just arrived. First, a little housekeeping. 1 week from tonight, you will be able to order Rock and Roll All Night and Journal Every Day on Amazon. The Kiss Journal, a year-long guide, January 1st through December 31st. Kiss prompts to write your own Kiss story next year. Perfect Christmas gift for yourself or the Kiss fan in your life. Rock and Roll All Night and Journal Every Day on Amazon next Friday, 11/29/24. Let's nostalgia. So 1988, I become a fan. Smashes is already out, and Smashes served as my cliff notes into the band's discography. I learned a lot about the band from Danny, but musically, Smashes was my way in. November 1989, this magazine, The Might and Magic of Kiss, is released, and I see it at Food for Less grocery store. I'm there with my mom doing grocery shopping. We went to the store every Monday, and I look down and I see that gigantic yellow Kiss logo. I'm already a fan, or I'm walking down the road of that fandom, and I see that logo and my heart just skips. I'm like, oh, just please let her buy this for me. She buys it for me, and this magazine basically took over my life. Still my all-time favorite magazine, purely nostalgically, but historically, this magazine served as my everything. This still has my all-time favorite Gene Simmons quote: "Failure is one step closer to success."
You're welcome.
And it came from this magazine. That poster right there came from this magazine. And so it all serves my full circle moment of being 50 years old and getting this 35th anniversary, because the poster inside is a lot like that photo session, and it's a lot like everything I loved when I was 15. And I just want to pause for a second and just take gratitude for the wonderful magazines of the 80s. The 70s magazines are spectacular. I mean, those are historical, vintage Kiss things we all love. But the 80s, like rock magazines in the 80s in general, were fun. But Kiss really knocked it out of the park with a lot of theirs. The Exposed magazine, how fun is that? Not only did you have the VHS, but to actually have like a movie magazine, I mean, they hadn't done that since Phantom. That is fun. And then just the other 89, 90 Hot in the Shade magazines. Just so much fun. And this is another one of my favorites, the videos. I was an MTV VHS boy at heart, so this magazine, man, many high school Friday nights flipping through this magazine. I hope these videos that you watch on Friday night bring you as much nostalgic joy as, you know, me flipping through these magazines when I was 15, because that's the whole reason we started this channel, was to kind of bring back that magic of rock and roll, bring back that magic of Kiss, and give you all an escape on Friday nights the way we had in 1989. And just some cool Hot in the Shade mementos before we get into the bundle. And although I don't have the Hot in the Shade CD on my person, it's horrible being a Kiss collector out of boxes because you don't have a room to display your stuff in. One day, we're gonna get there. But there's a promo CD for Hide Your Heart, and same concept there with the mirrored sunglasses, but that's a lot of fun. I love the white and purple little promo CDs sent out to radio stations. So that was a lot of fun. I do have, thanks to my buddy FL Dog, the Hot in the Shade CD long box cover. That's fun. And this, thanks to my buddy Chuck, a Hot in the Shade tour rider that everyone in the band, road crew, bus driver, would have this rider. Of course, everything's electronic these days. It's all on email, it's all on your phone. Back then, they had little books telling them what the phone numbers are, the hotels. Kiss Hot in the Shade tour. That's pretty freaking inner circle, the machine of Kiss fun right there. And speaking of tour, Hot in the Shade was Danny and I's first Kiss concert. Danny was a fan in the 70s but never got to see them. Never saw them in the 80s. Hot in the Shade was our first Kiss concert. May 1990. This is my very first Kiss t-shirt. Got the band there and the Sphinx, those neon yellow, pink, blue colors. And on the back, the Hot in the Shade stamp and cities. We saw them Bonner Springs, Kansas. The merch stand that night did not have the tour books, and everyone tells me that the Topeka show, not too long after the Bonner Springs show, did have the tour books. However, always able to do a little hunting on eBay and was able to add the Hot in the Shade tour book, the second of the major, gigantic, big tour books. Crazy Nights was the first, and then Hot in the Shade with Revenge lining that out. The three gigantic tour books. This was a lot of fun to finally get and be able to. I'm glad I actually didn't get one at the show. 15-year-old me trying to hold this, it'd probably be bent in half, but Paul's such a badass. 80s Paul. I was telling my wife last night, we were watching some 80s Kiss videos, and I was like, you know, as much as Kiss in the 80s was in the copy and paste what everyone else is doing mode, Paul Stanley was a legitimate freaking rock star and very cool. Even Gene was pretty cool in Crazy Nights era and Hot in the Shade era, but Paul had it all along. Asylum, Crazy Nights, Smashes, Hot in the Shade, Revenge. Paul had it. The ultimate rock star. Vinyl wise, here is a Hot in the Shade from Guatemala with hype sticker on the Vertigo label. There's the center ring side A and center ring side B. Vertigo, Guatemala. And one more before we get into the bundle. The 30th anniversary translucent blue release. Stuck my hype sticker on the cover, as all good nerds should. And there is the vinyl. Translucent blue. I love this thing. This thing is so sharp. My buddy Chuck got this for me and really set me down the translucent vinyl rabbit hole, because after I saw how cool this looked, I got online and immediately bought the Green Dynasty that was out at the same time. So I love this thing, and let's do a poltergeist since we're here.
How would you go to the light? No!
So when I saw the 35th anniversary bundle come up on Kiss Online, I immediately went for it, because I think Hot in the Shade, I think sophomore building, Central High School. I can still remember the phone booth that I called Danny and told him that Gunnar Lloyd's girlfriend was selling her Hot in the Shade tickets. Called him in between classes. I think we had 5 minutes to walk to the next class. Called him. Still remember his phone number. It's crazy how the older we get, like our teenage years, mean more to us now. Like, Danny and I were just talking about Hot in the Shade, and we said, much like these videos, we would just hang out every Friday night. Talk Kiss, eat Taco Bell, watch MTV, look at Metal Edge magazine. And back then we thought we were bored. Back then we thought All the other kids were having fun, and we were like the losers. Looking back, we were probably having more fun than the kids pretending to have fun. And that's what I like to think about these Friday nights too. I think we're having more fun than your average adult out there. Because we're not boring. We're having fun. We're nerds, and we are celebrating Kiss. And that's a damn cool thing. Speaking of celebrating Kiss, here is the new vinyl. And I've kept it in the shrink wrap because of the hype sticker. Foil covers, I don't think I'm going to put the hype sticker on the cover. Because the foil covers are nice, and they're nice and glossy and shiny. And I like it. I'm a Mylar boy, foil boy. Back cover, same treatment to that. And the stamp is actually embossed. So that's kind of fun. And this is I'm curious what the sand cover is. That was in the picture disc, which of course sell out in 1 second, so no one can get them. But curious what that's going to look like or feel like. But this is it. The 35th anniversary foil treated cover. Love it. Here's a little better look at that hype sticker. And although I am a fan of the foil treatment, I will say Kiss seems to be running to the foil treatment like they did the orange translucent vinyl that they did with Hotter Than Hell, Destroyer Resurrected. It's become, foil treatment has become the new orange vinyl. Now the vinyl is, I believe they call it a blue and white cloud swirl. I dig it. It's kind of fun. Not a lot of white in there. I guess in real life you can see it a little better than you can on video. I like the translucent 30th anniversary better just because I'm a translucent vinyl fan. Still cool, but of the two, and I think I explained this in my prediction talking about the Dynasty green vinyl and the Dynasty red and black swirl. I said I have a feeling the Hot in the Shade's going to be the same way, where I like the translucent better, and I do, but still fun. Before we go into the hoodie and the poster, thought I'd kind of lay down my favorite tracks from this record. Hide Your Heart, Read My Body, those trade-off Gene and Paul vocals at the end. There's nothing better than that. Love's a Slap in the Face, Gene's Na 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 Na, great song, Forever. I actually enjoy Silver Spoon. I hated it in high school. I actually enjoy it as an adult. King of Hearts. Again, as I was talking about Paul Stanley being the rock star of the 80s, Paul Stanley, this era, was clearly in his Bon Jovi, New Jersey copy and paste formula. King of Hearts, absolutely a great song. You Love Me to Hate You, same way. Paul Stanley wins on Hot in the Shade. Somewhere Between Heaven and Hell, I've always loved that song. I turned my mom's answering machine into that. I recorded that song as the greeting to our answering machine. I'm sure my mom wanted to kill me, or anyone calling the house. Danny will remember that. I had to sit through like a minute of that stupid song, but anyway, I love that song. And Little Caesar, you gotta be a fan of that. I love Hot in the Shade, not gonna lie. Here is the poster that came inside, and it is super, super shiny. I'm not going to hang it up, of course. I'm just going to keep it with the album. But that is a lot of fun because, as I said, when I first saw that this was going to be the poster inside, I immediately was back in my 15-year-old bedroom. Because when I was 15, that very poster was hanging on my bedroom wall, and it is the same photo shoot of the poster that comes in the bundle. So it's almost like this release for me was completely full circle. I feel like a freshman in high school again. I'm not as scared of life as I was back then, but I'm still having a damn good time celebrating Kiss every Friday night. And lastly, the hoodie, which I don't hate as much as I thought I would. There's the front of the hoodie. It's actually a kind of a cool color. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like the color. I don't have a hoodie this color at all. Most of my hoodies are black, gray, or blue. So this is kind of fun. I don't I don't really dig this. Like, Kiss Online, like, you don't have to add other stuff if you don't need to. Like, Kiss Hot in the Shade would have been fine. We don't need the four wise men there traveling and pointing to, I guess, the Sphinx on the back, but it's kind of cool. I could do without that. I think it would have been a lot neater with just Kiss and Hot in the Shade, and then here's the back. That's pretty fun. Kind of looks like you went to a science exhibit of Egyptian history, but that's fun. This is totally something I would have worn in 1990. Like, my freshman, sophomore year, I wore Obsession cologne a lot, and like, I just look at this and I smell Obsession cologne, Cops, the TV show on Fox, Taco Bell, Danny's Camaro, and Brett Parker's basement or my basement. Talking about Kiss. How amazing is that we can relive that fun. So, given all that, I would give it a good thumbs up. I'm happy I bought it. Album means a lot to me. This album is very important to my teenage life and my Kiss fandom life. If this album wouldn't have grabbed a hold of me the way it did, things may have turned out differently, because this album really catapulted me down the road of Kiss fandom, down the rabbit hole of fun, and, you know, I wouldn't be the 50-year-old I am today talking Kiss every Friday night without Hot in the Shade. So I'm very grateful for it. Very grateful for all of you hanging out with me on Friday nights. And being a Kiss fan is a lot of fun. It makes life good when the world's constantly pecking at you, not wanting you to have fun, not wanting you to feel good, wanting you to be anxiety-ridden and stressed out. Nah, not us. We got Friday nights and Kiss. And we have these babies. Thank you for hanging with us tonight. Waxing a rock and roll nostalgia with us here in the Wax Night House. Don't forget, next Friday, Rock and Roll All Night and Journal Every Day on Amazon. Right now, it's napply time. They have moved. We went outside, we went for a walk. And after our intro, we went for a walk. Now we're back. Now it's napply time. Be good to your babies. Spay, neuter, microchip. Take care. Be safe. We will talk to you soon.